The people were filled with expectation, and all were asking in their hearts whether John might actually be the Christ. Close your eyes just for a second and try to imagine this scene. Everyone filled with expectation. They were anxious. They may have even been excited. And why? What was going on? Well, John had been out in the desert for a while. He was calling on everyone to prepare for the Messiah. And believe it or not, people were responding. He was doing this thing called baptism, where people who were willing to admit their sins and their wrongdoings repented. And John washed them in the Jordan River. This was important because the Jordan is the same river that the Jewish people had crossed to take possession of the promised land. And when they had done that many centuries before, they accepted the gift, the promise God had made to them, to always be their God and to care for them. And they also accepted the responsibility to live as God taught them to live. With John's baptism, these anxious people recommitted themselves to live by God's commandments. And they became filled with expectation, with hope for something new. You know, I'm often curious about emotionally charged moments like we hear in today's gospel. They certainly happen in our own lives from time to time. I don't know, weddings and graduations and events like that. They're great. But for some of us, hopefully a few of us, this excitement can diminish as we get older. I guess that's natural. You have hopes and expectations, and with time, they don't all come to pass. But there is something about our lack of expectation that is also very sad. And I would conjecture, I would guess, not particularly Christian. We've been celebrating the birth of Jesus for over 2 weeks. We do it every year. And while Christmas is filled with tradition and customs that we love, it also comes with this hope-filled message of peace on earth. A message that just never seems to get realized. Year after year, we sing the songs, we put up the decorations, we even reflect on the joy and hope of the season. But it just never seems to materialize, at least not fully. So where is this joy and peace after all? And what do we expect it to look like? What do we actually expect of this peace and joy? Well, the Nativity marks the start, the dawning of God's kingdom in our world. But the baptism of the Lord is its realization. In his baptism, Jesus joins the ranks of our broken human family so that he can walk with us on our journey to the Father. You see, this peace on earth doesn't just drop down out of heaven like the angels in Bethlehem. Peace is our goal. It is a goal for us to achieve in our time and in our place. And we do this with Jesus at our side. Christ's baptism and our participation in it by our own baptism makes us true sisters and brothers with him, true children of God. And as Paul tells Titus, heirs in hope of eternal life. So as children of God, we have every reason and every right to be hopeful, even excited. True peace in our families, in our neighborhoods, in our nation, and in our world is an expectation that we all should share. It's not out of reach. It's something for us to work toward. And it is an expectation, a goal that all of us must work for together, guided by the light of Christ. This is a high hope. Maybe that's why as we get older, time passes, we have hopes and dreams and we see them not come to light. We insulate ourselves with this security blanket. I do. But that's very sad. It makes these dreams, these expectations for hope and peace, like an artifact on a shelf, like something we talk about or look at or dream about, but never really consider possible. Sure, I can't make peace in the world, but I can contribute to peace in my family. I can contribute to peace in my class, at school, or in my workplace, or among my neighbors. I can make a difference. And when each and every one of us takes that approach, things can happen. And they do happen. But then when they fall back and peace is broken, okay, we start again. Because we always can. Never forget that in our baptism, God repeats to each one of us the same words that he spoke to Jesus. You are my beloved child. With you I am well pleased.